Hi folks, this is Mitch Rom, the doctor of Dr. Backup. And in today's session, I'd like to discuss one of the most powerful marketing tools available to all Dr. Backup Pro partners, a free 30-day trial of our fully managed backup service. It's a powerful tool because with a single phone call and at no cost, your prospect can get professionally managed backup services absolutely free for 30 days. Learning how to effectively use this capability as a selling tool can help you to achieve close rates that exceed 75%. Yep. In this session, I'm going to talk about one powerful example of using a free trial to boost your sales. So let's get started. Selling IT services generally consists of these basic steps. You're going to market to identify a prospect. You're going to qualify that prospect with a call. You're going to schedule a face-to-face appointment. You're going to make a capabilities presentation with a cost overview, and you're going to follow up with them. The problem with this basic approach is nothing you're doing here differentiates you in the mind of the prospect from your competition. Now let's suppose you make a minor tweak to this process. Before launching into a capabilities presentation, you pause your agenda and have a short impromptu conversation with the prospect that goes something like this. Before we start the presentation, if you don't mind, there's one question I always ask folks up front that are considering using my services. And I'd like to ask you the question. Is that okay? Of course they're going to say yes. And you're going to follow up with, what would you do if you came into the office tomorrow morning and all your computers were gone? You're probably going to hear crickets at this point. But it's key that you pause here until the prospect answers. Don't volunteer further qualification. Let them answer. The quiet will seem a bit awkward, but it is necessary. Alas, an answer will come, but probably won't be well thought out. Some of your prospects will even say something like, I guess I should call you. That's a great answer, huh? Unless the prospect blows you away with their answer, in which case you just move on with your presentation, your follow-up would simply be, and tell me, where do you keep yesterday's computer backups? Again, pause, but not too long this time, before you add, I always tell folks that before I'll even consider touching anything on a customer's network, I need to make absolutely sure that they have backup copies of their critical data. Now you've really got me concerned. So tell you what, right after our meeting, irrespective of whether or not we ultimately do business together, I'm going to call a top-notch backup vendor I use and get them to protect you and your critical computer data at no cost for the next 30 days. That should give us enough time to analyze things and come up with a mix of IT services your business needs. Does that work for you? So after this preamble conversation, you can go ahead and proceed with making your capabilities presentation. And after the meeting concludes, you do facilitate a joint call between the prospect and Dr. Backup to get the customer on a free 30-day trial of the backup service. Now just think about what you've done by injecting that simple impromptu conversation into the presentation. Number one, you've shown genuine concern about the customer and demonstrated your willingness to help them before you've even talked about your fees. Number two, you've introduced them to a backup vendor that'll make you look good in the eyes of your prospect. Number three, you've effectively pre-sold them an a la carte managed service with 30 days deferred billing. Number four, you've discreetly differentiated yourself and your presentation from the competition. Aha. Folks, sales tools and techniques simply don't get much better than this. Master this technique and let me know how it works for you. Since you stayed with me this long, how about a little bonus content? Kind of like an Avengers movie. Whenever I give a presentation, I always try to get the prospect to say okay or yes as many times as you can. So when you finally ask them, your final closing question, you've pre-trained them to be saying yes or okay. Pretty cool trick, eh? Until next time, this is Mitch, the doctor of Dr. Backup.